world. My name is Hristina Crenn. Today I have the privilege to talk with Margarida Simões from Portugal. Hello, Margarida. How are you doing today?
Good morning to you all. I'm Margarida Simões, and I'm from Portugal. So I am both a veterinarian and also a trained human nurse. Then I did the conservation biology masters because I wanted to triangle both my experience with animals and humans. And I wrapped it up with a PhD in virology. And this is what got me into One Health.
Excellent. You were the first translator from Portugal that signed up actually to translate the One Health lessons prepared by Dr. Deborah Thompson. And how was your experience regarding the process of translation? What was the most interesting part for you regarding the lessons? And basically, if you can tell us what is the level of awareness regarding One Health in Portugal?
So that's very interesting. So I got in touch with One Health lessons through LinkedIn. This is how I got to get in touch with Dr. Deborah. And she contacted me and I said, yeah, brilliant. Unfortunately, I was not as fast as I was supposed to doing the translation because life gets in the way. And I was fortunate enough to, well, Dr. Deborah assembled a fantastic team with Nadia Almeida was my with whom I close collaborated. So she did my proofreading and I did her proofreading. And I translated the plus 18. And the lessons are brilliant because the idea that Dr. Deborah really put in practice is to convey one message in multi-language and so we can all understand the basics. This was very interesting, and because she always loops around, it was again through COVID and the raising awareness, but she loops it always into One Health, how we should collaborate, how can different partners, different stakeholders, different people from amongst our society, how can we collaborate? And this for the young people to start and being aware, like our environmentalists. So in your generation, you are most active than in my generation, unfortunately, and we are leaving Mother Earth, in a very bad shape. So it was brilliant.
Indeed, the lessons are amazing. I recently translated the lessons in Macedonian language. Also, I did the age section for 18 plus. So basically, I also, for the first time in my life, I could understand the meaning, the actual meaning of the term mutations. Because when I studied what is a mutation in a biology class in 6th grade, I was not understanding what the teacher was saying because the books and even her language was very technical. Like someone, is a PhD and is teaching 6th grade students that actually are not familiar with that type of language. And I say, oh my goodness, finally at the age of 24 I understood the logic behind mutations in a large scale. I mean, because we know, okay, mutation is a change that occurs, but what is the philosophy behind that change? What really happens? That is that is something that I understood it very recently. uh, and
And if I may say so, I proofread the others, the age gap beneath, and it is coherent through all the segments. So imagine you have a school from the toddlers until the big people or almost going to university, and it's coherent. So everything unfolds itself. So I think you just nailed it. It's brilliant how she exposed the theme itself.
excellent. I say to myself, I wish I had these lessons at the age of 12, you know. And but it was a different generation and different professors, of course, and different pedagogy. Like, I think pedagogy is something that determines the scope of education. um All
Also
right.
because Deborah has the pedagogical background,
Yes.
and she
Exactly.
really, what one thing that she also gets is the interconnectedness.
Yes.
If one does not understand interconnectedness in those lessons, I don't know which is the way to explain it to them,
Absolutely.
because it is brilliant.
Yes, and the lessons are very visual as well. There are many pictures,
Brilliant.
and we can understand the concept easily. I mean, the meaning of the concept as well. So basically, I would like to ask you now another question. You are, as you said, at the same time a veterinarian and a human health nurse, and also you are now an assistant professor. Um, you, let's say to some extent that you did and you're still doing three professions. You have experience in three types of professions. What is the best profession that you consider um, for yourself, in terms of, like, do you prefer teaching or being a researcher, or being in the laboratory as a veterinarian and there conduct experiments? What are your preferences?
This is very difficult question,
Yeah.
Christina. So I have to say, from my understanding, I'm always a nurse because I tend to people. No matter if I tend them because they are ill or they want to get better or just to maintain their life, but also when I help them with their animals. So I'm also nursing them in this sense. Being a vet, you have this responsibility of keeping another family member or from their livelihoods where they get their production animals and they get their livelihoods, no matter what the animal is, and you help to maintain the equilibrium of nature, humans, our basic dependence on animals, being the cat or the dog that we love, being the animal that will eventually feed us. So everything is together. As an assistant professor, so I've been doing this for quite some years already, since I was teaching um, nurse students, and I was always the last 5 years I've been teaching also veterinary students, mostly in infectious diseases and public health. And it's interesting how to see how they progress, how they understand the basics. So it's not just from if we take zoonotic diseases, so the diseases that affect both humans and animals, cross species. It is so interesting to see how their mind works to try and minimize impact, to try and help prevent the spread like this COVID thing. It is very interesting, and I would not just stick with being a researcher and assistant professor. I'm actually trying also to study another virus that might be conveyed through wildlife between humans and animals, like the hepatitis E. But yeah, maintaining just being a teacher, you are also taught back
Exactly.
constantly
Yes.
because your students defy you. They make you change. They make you understand things that you could not convey as properly, and you have to mutate and evolve. So
Absolutely.
it's very interesting.
Yes.
And One Health is that.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Like, I'm also studying like law, history, and political science, international relations in two different countries, and I can say that you I always wanted to be an archaeologist or a historian, or that was my passion. But I said, if I truly need to study the market, the best thing for me maybe is to be a cardiologist. But that, when I was 15 years old, I was thinking like that. And but later on, I really started a few majors in the domain of social sciences. Therefore, I understand you when you say, like, basically you are doing all of them at the same time, because it gives you another um, way of thought, and
Yes.
that is where you grow and progress. And I feel exactly the same regarding what you said. I have one more question for you. Like, what is your opinion regarding the future of One Health in your region?
Well, One Health is a way forward, but we have to be very honest about it. So, if I may just take a moment to step. So, a year ago, I was in England. I was not in Portugal, and I was fortunate enough to work with an amazing team. And it's not One Health; it's One Medicine. And what is One Medicine? People really get a bit of confused about it. But One Medicine is precisely taking care of humans and animals. And then it's the basis for One Health because we then involve the environment, the anthropological concerns, the society itself, and every realm that is connected. So the One Medicine was a strong basis also to continue my my aim to help people. And how can we help people? We have limited resources, as Humanimal says. Humanimal Trust, you have to check it out also. It's one of the partners of One Health, okay? We have limited resources. We lack information on things that happen, actually occur in nature, and we just miss out because there are cancers in dogs that if you would treat them and understand them a bit better, you could treat kids that have the same kind of cancer. And yet, in our society, we are inducing this kind of disease in experimental animals and then trying to treat them. And this is a waste of energy, time, money, everything. One Health is this in maximize. You maximize it. We have this pandemic. If we take this close up, this pandemic, we closed the world. It has economical impact. It has social impacts. Have we learned the lesson? Because I don't think we have
No,
until now,
no, we didn't.
unfortunately. And then we say, oh, we have this vaccine and everything is done. No, unless we change the way we did it, another one comes up and then we need another vaccine and another one comes up and then we need another vaccine. So this is not the way forward. For One Health, we have to think one thing. I hope this does not go down because this is not charging. I don't know why. So, unfortunately, in Portugal, we have these silos. You know, human health has this silo in this department with the ministry. Then it's the animal health and animal production. Then we have the environment completely off. How can it be completely off? And the social sciences are not integrated. And so this is like bits and pieces, and we don't pull together. There are countries in Africa, in Southeast Asia, in Latin America, they are brilliant because they consider everyone has a contribution to do. And we need to understand it. I know the resources and then the political motives are the baseline that can bring us together. But we need to think this is our world, this is our health, and we need to come together. Portugal is slowly but surely going on it. I hope it goes a bit faster than I'm watching it to go. So, but people are trying to get in.
I'm really interested to learn more in the future about the concept One Medicine because it seems fascinating, like One Health, One Medicine, and especially study perhaps the interdependence between these two concepts. I would like really to thank you a lot for your time today and for giving this brilliant overview regarding the future of One Health and in your region, but also in the world. Definitely, with the emergence of the new vaccines, we are not learning the lesson. But I truly hope that to some extent we can raise awareness about the importance of respecting the measures and the restrictions during during the pandemic. Like suddenly it turned out that COVID-19 and the expression "stay at home" to be the most pronounced words in the world, especially
Right.
during the last 8 months.
And we just now grab the importance of a freedom. It's not the freedom that some don't have. It's the freedom to step outside,
Yes.
to breathe air without a mask.
Yeah.
to interact with people and completely seeing their faces and not just with that thing that conceals your expression, the true nature of people. And this is very sad. I hope really that our world understands it. If I may tell you one thing, so in previous years, I'm also part of other organizations that have this strong awareness raising scope of One Health, interconnectedness, transdisciplinarity. And I was fortunate enough to go to Angola, Mozambique, São Tomé and Príncipe, Cape Verde, so Portuguese speaking countries in Africa. And they struggle with this health issue. And in the small locations, in the small communities, they actually understand if the chicken is not healthy, then I don't have food. If I don't keep up my garden and my environment and the water is the main issue, then my children are sick. And this is like a conundrum. Everything revolves in itself. And in the communities, you have this effort. So it's just on the bigger scale, then you lose this understanding. And I really hope that our, I don't know, the people who command the world just really see how important it is to move forward together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like unity in this period of in this period during the pandemic, unity is perhaps the most important notion that everyone should remember. We cannot act alone. We need to act collectively to solve this issue, and I truly hope that we will. At least, hope is the the only truth that we can have for now regarding the regarding the issue, and hopefully this will serve as an awareness as well, as I said, for the amelioration of the mentality of the world in terms of during a pandemic, how people should they act and how they should um, uh, prevent
How
the
should we
spread.
contribute? Yes.
Yes, how
So
they should.
that is the
Yeah,
preventing it,
yeah,
keeping
prevention.
what is good,
Yes,
preventing the expansion of what is not useful for anyone.
absolutely, absolutely.
So,
Yes,
and keeping the planet, because we are in this planet and health is in the planet. So, no matter what you say, environmental health, eco health, one health, just go. That is my, and I think does that brilliantly by teaching the small kids until the older ones this importance and how we are all together, the interconnectedness. This is the main thing, and she really sends the message out.
yeah, she
So
did. She does. She does. Thank you a lot for your time today. It was a privilege talking with you, and I truly hope that we
you.
can have another chance in the future to discuss some relevant issues regarding health.
Well, if I may be of help, please. I thank you for talking to me. I hope I was not boring, and I hope we can work together because social sciences need to work with health.
Yes, actually, yes. Definitely, I agree that policymakers should be aware about the importance of health. In my opinion, they are not sufficiently aware because, generally, when it's the world of law, students or professors just speak about law. Um, and that's for like there is some division among the.
Separation, yeah, the silo
Yes,
separation,
yes,
and nothing is separated in
no, we
nature.
cannot, we cannot.
Yeah,
And there is always some interdependence between the sciences that we should always preserve it, in my opinion. That's it.
yeah.
It was a very interesting talk, and I really learned a lot from you regarding the
Thank
scope
you.
of One Health and One Medicine that you mentioned about. Thank you a lot again. Take care of yourself and talk to you soon.
Thank you. Goodbye to all, and have a good year.
Yes.